Mexico.
Welcome back, and Vito Delino opening up the clean and jerk phase with a successful lift of 135 kilos, and now onto the stage Jose Helino Montes Gongora, who unfortunately, Randy, didn't manage to succeed in any of his 3 snatch attempts.
Starts all over though now, clean slate. In theory, he could win the gold medal in the clean jerk. In practice, not likely, but he's got a shot. Had to walk around a little, control that, but it's a good lift. Looks good to me, at least.
Yes, it is a good lift for Montes from Mexico. 137.
So now he can feel a little bit of satisfaction. He's on the board. The trip here was not in vain.
From Mexico. If he remains with that weight, he will have.
Yeah, confidence will rise just a little bit. Of course, the heavier weights now. Quite a deep split, but at the end of the day, quite comfortable. Brings the feet in line there to, as you say, get himself underway and back with a little bit more confidence now.
Yeah, he had to get out of the hole he'd put himself in the snatch. Psychological, I mean, as well as from a competitive point of view. The man came into the clean and jerk knowing that he had struck out in the snatch. 3 misses, 3 attempts, 3 misses. But it's all gone now. He's got a good lift in the clean and jerk.
Far up to 140 kilos now for El Maui. Currently in 3rd place overall, but only 1 out of 3 attempts made. And in fact, it's Makarov in picture. This is Ruslan Makarov of Uzbekistan. In 6th place at the halfway stage, brings forward 117 kilos to add to 140 if he picks this up towards his total. So, different grip, different position, Randy.
Yeah, hands closer together. He's cleaning on his fingertips, it looks like. Gets set now, dip and drive, push himself under it. Got to remember, we're already over 300 pounds for a man who, by average standards, is very small. It's 140 kilos, 308 pounds approximately. As you said, David, clean, you start with your hands much closer together. You're just going to rack the bar, catch it on your shoulders, get set, dip and drive the bar overhead, driving your body under the bar. There's the jerk phase, drives up and presses himself under it, splits his legs so that he can get lower under the bar. The object, once again, is to fix the bar overhead, wait for the referee's down signal, and hopefully get 3 white lights for the effort.
So Vito Delino, 135, first attempt was good. Remember, he only brings forward 105 kilos. He had those 2 attempts at 109 in the snatch phase, which didn't go his way.
There's Garda from the right, his coach, you mentioned earlier. Look at the arms on this guy. Looks like he almost touched his elbows to his knees on that clean. Yeah, didn't have him in the jerk. The reason why I pointed out his arms, you'll see weightlifters, unlike bodybuilders, have undeveloped biceps. It's because, unlike what you might think, you don't pull with your arms. You're pulling with your legs and with your back muscles.
France organizing committee?
Let's watch the jerk. He misses this, dips and drives. He's pushing the bar a little bit forward, it looks like, as he drives it overhead, causing this miss. He's tending to lean forward, I think, too, as he's dipping. Have to drive the bar straight up, get it fixed over your ears, basically, over the back of your head almost. Montes' second attempt, 140 kilos. Pretty wide stance, pretty wide grip. Fights to come up. Should be getting some air here to get set. He drives on the jerk with a lot of confidence. I wouldn't say he's absolutely rock solid overhead, but there's no hesitation as far as the dip and drive goes in this man.
140 kilos. Third class attempt for Vito Dellino from Italy.
And certainly looking much more confident now. And, you know, this is better than he did in the Junior World. So the first phase was a real disappointment, but obviously much more comfortable in the second half of the competition here.
This might be part of the reason why he's a little shaky in the jerk. He recovers with his back leg coming forward instead of his front leg coming back. But we'll talk about that more later.
So Dellino trying for 140.
Right. Coming back from a miss. Yeah,
this would give him a total of 255, and he was actually, his entry total was 256. So
hook grip, you'll see fingers wrapping around the thumb. It's because it takes so much grip strength to hang onto the bar in weightlifting. This gives him a more secure hold on the bar. Yep. Okay. He racked the bar. In other words, he got under it, caught it on his chest, but he could not recover. In other words, he could not stand up, and then he did what we call bailout. He just basically fell down, pushed himself away from the bar. He could not stand up with it. Not quite enough leg strength.
142 kilos will be the first attempt for Khalid El Mawi from Tunisia.
전천 선수 2번, 튜니지아 엘 마우 선수 1차 시작.
You can see him bouncing there, trying to stand up.
So El Mawi, opening attempt at 142. Little disappointing, I have to say, having had two failures.
I expected a little bit more from him, actually, in the snatch. But, you know, the clean and jerk can change things rapidly because more weight's involved.
Well, this is interesting. Now, I'll explain why in a moment. Chucks that overhead, and happy with that. 3 white lights now. The significance of that, Randy, is the fact that that is the weight that he ran into trouble at in the Olympic Games. He had 3 attempts at 142 kilos, didn't get either of them, or any of them, I should say.
Yeah.
And he would have had a total of, had he done that, of 268.
Watch his arms. This man does not have great natural lockout, and he might be running into trouble later in the jerk. Let's watch and see if he can get some more jerks on the board. But he's a lifter who's going to have to hold the bar overhead basically on muscular strength rather than counting on bone lockout. His arms don't hyperextend. They don't go beyond straight. They don't, in fact, fully maybe 100% straighten out. So let's see how this works for him down the road in the jerk.
Get closer and closer to the medals available here at the World Weightlifting Championships 2009.
Montez, unlike the snatch, he's got 2 good clean and jerks coming out for his 3rd attempt, now 143 kilos.
It's 143. This would be a significant improvement on what he achieved earlier in the year. But to put this in perspective, remember that the Olympic champion has posted 155 kilos as his starting weight. That's Long Qingqiang, who of course finds himself in 2nd place at the halfway stage, and Wu, his teammate, on 155. Now at the national championships, Long certainly got the better of that argument, and you suspect that that may happen again.
Yeah, I think the fact that Long was showing absolutely no anxiety that I could see, and I was right by the platform, no anxiety after the snatch. He is fully confident of the damage he's going to wreak on these guys in the clean and jerk phase.
Well, none out of 3 in the snatch phase. Can it be 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk?
Could be.
That would be some consolation,
Yeah.
because these are personal best marks now for him.
Okay. Yep. Got under the bar, but not the leg strength to stand up with it. That's okay. He got 2 good clean and jerks. He's leaving now feeling a lot better than he was after the snatches.
Yeah, you would expect him to really go for a new personal best on the third one, really push himself. And you can see there's a level of recovery and satisfaction on his face. And just to reiterate, he is only 20, all the way from Mexico. Now, from Uzbekistan.
But look, he jerks with his hands very close together. A lot of lifters will spread their grip out a little bit to get better lockout. What we were talking about before, the ability to hold the bar overhead with bone-on-bone support rather than just muscles holding the weight. And when you have a narrower grip like that, it tends to work against your natural lockout. It's got a shallow split, too. Some of this is just dictated by body mechanics, proportions of your body. Part of it maybe is just how you learn to lift, and part of it is just because this is what works for you.
So Yamada,
145 kilos.
only 109 kilos in the first phase. But having said that, again, just looking at his recent performances, by his standards, that's not too bad at all.
This is pretty decent opening clean and jerk. And this is his first attempt, 145. Let's see if he makes it look light. Clean look light.
Yeah, slides the...
See, look at his hands. Look how wide his hands are. That's to improve his lockout. This is a very wide grip. See how his arms are hyperextended, going beyond straight? That gives him that bone-on-bone support when he fixes the weight. Nice lift. He's going to uncork. It looks like pretty decent clean and jerk tonight.
Yeah, 254. I mean, he's building nicely. He was looking for a total of 261, and I think he might well have a chance of getting there.
Yeah.
It all really depends on that second attempt and how many more kilos he's going to put on the bar.
Boom.
I mean, he did 153 at the Olympics, totaled up 259. So he's looking for a slightly better performance than he produced in Beijing tonight.
Very wide split. I just noticed it.
First attempt, clean and jerk for Yang Chin Yi of Taipei, 145 kilos. Now this is a man who really needs to make up ground, but he's not convincing me at the moment.
Well, he's very fast under the bar, but let's see how the jerk looks. Oh, that's rock solid. Yeah, we were predicting that he might be a candidate for a medal, but he was going to have to make up ground with clean and jerk. That was a nice, impressive opener. He did that with commanding ease.
Well, he's going to have to really make it count. Remember, he's only bringing forward 115 kilos.
Right.
So, as you can see there, you saw on the little graphic there, he's only into fourth place at the moment, so he's still got some work to do. He leads, of course, the clean and jerk.
Yeah, as you point out, you know, with that snatch, he might have just dug himself into too deep of a hole to be in contention for a medal in the total. Jerk? Who knows? Let's see how things go.
So,
but the night's young.
Alvarez, and the bar going to 146 kilos. There is Sergio Alvarez in the back room.
Warming up.
Yeah, so he's not planning to rush out here, so there's going to be another change as well. El Mawi of Tunisia, in fact, coming out for this weight, as you can see. Well, El Mawi was looking for a total of something like 270, 280, I think. So 146 kilos now, 4 kilos up. Yeah, world record for clean and jerk. Again, Halil Mutlu owns them all at senior level, 168 kilos. That was way back at the European Championships in Trenčín some 8 years ago.
It's just to put these lifts in perspective, as heavy as this weight is. You can see this was not easy, an easy clean for this man. Well, I don't know. He made a pretty good effort on that. This was not a cakewalk. I thought he might have more trouble in the jerk than he did. Nice lift.
Yeah, 271 with one attempt left.
I think they're pleased with that.
Yeah, where it's gone slightly wrong is those two failures on the second and third attempts in the snatch phase. He's lost ground there because, he went 125, looked very straightforward on the first snatch attempt. That was good. Then went 3 kilos up, then went 5 kilos up and missed both of those. And that's really his setback. So, in other words, he's hanging on to the bronze medal position by a bit of good fortune. Now, he needs to make all these lifts because the likes of the lifter from Taipei, Yang Qin, this is where he could make the difference.
Absolutely right.
But meanwhile, here's the Pan American man, Sergio Alvarez from Cuba.
147 kilo opener.
So this for a 267 total, which would put him into the overall silver medal position, but very early days.
Strong clean, wide grip as he's set here for the jerk. Look at his hands. Boom.
Yeah, shorter distance to travel as a result of...
And better lockout, yeah. And no doubt about that lift, I would say.
No, that's...
Owns that weight.
So in fact, just looking at that, Alvarez leading the clean and jerk.
Setiadi, 147, first attempt. Well, he hit a pretty low bottom position on that clean. Strong jerk. Got one red light on that. Let's see if we can see what the infraction was on.
Put Setiadi into 270, El Mawi on 271. Here we go. Well, we're only seeing the second phase, and it's a difficult angle to see whether there was a. This might be better.
Did that right arm unlock? I'm not sure.
No, I think that's all right, to be honest, Randy.
Yeah.
The decisions are as precise as possible.
So Setiadi of Indonesia, who incidentally didn't take that third attempt on the snatch phase. Not sure, we've not been given any reason for that, but
Here's Long in the warm-up room. And he's still got quite a few attempts before he's coming out. they'll time the warm-ups. They have to coincide with what's taking place on the platform. And the coach is doing what's called counting attempts so that they can time it.
I was going to say, Randy, this particular picture that you can see now just gives you an idea of this huge size of this hall. It's certainly big, but arguably lacks a little bit of intimacy as a result of that.
Beautiful, beautiful facility. You can see Niku Vlad kind of on the left side there, while being blocked by the flag. Great weather. There's Long. Looks relaxed. He's only 18 years old. He's got a very stoic personality, it seems, whereas his teammate Wu seems a little bit more animated out there. And one's sort of solid and chunky, and the other one's lean and looks very muscular and hard. Two different coaches also.
Yeah, the Chinese likely to do extremely well this week, particularly in the women's divisions as ever.
Yeah. Well, there's the men's coach on the right side, Chen Wenbin, taking a sip of coffee or tea.
Yes, there is a change now. 147 kilos. Third attempt for Ruslan Makarov.
See, there's Wu. You can see his abs through his lifting suit. This guy's so rock hard.
So Ruslan Makarov 140, 144, the progress 147, sitting on a total at the moment of 261.
Just bounded up the steps, eager to get up the weight.
And again, this, if he makes it, will still leave him short of what he aspired to. The rule requires that you, in the men's division, finish within 20 kilos of the entry total. He'll comfortably do that, but he won't achieve what he put down as his target. Quite close to the windpipe.
Passing out a little bit, that's what that shakiness is there. Bar hits the windpipe, as you said, David, cuts off the oxygen, lifter starts to block out.
So Makarov finishes his lifting, but still a lot of lifts to come. Yang of Taipei with 2 to come. Alvarez of Cuba with 2 available to him. Yamada of Japan with 2. And of course the 2 Chinese teammates, Long and Wu, yet to start their campaign. And
a lot of disappointment in the coaches' faces. That lift, frankly, I mean, it almost looked as if he might have been able to save that jerk had he pushed through on it at the end. The bar was high enough. Had he pushed through with a lot of determination, sense that he could do it, I think that might have been salvageable. Easy for me to say up here, though, right, David?
Yang Qi from Chinese Taipei.
– 150 kilos, second attempt, Yamada. We're getting into the beginning now of this really serious weights in this class. Approximately 330 pounds.
Now, he looked very good on the first one, but he's beginning to test himself. He's a man who's done 153, needs this. You just don't know. I suppose we're saying that the 2 Chinese lifters look good for gold and silver. You're not quite sure about the bronze. That's okay.
Yeah, pretty strong. It's a wide grip as he's getting set now for the dip and drive and the jerk. This guy's got quick feet too on this split. That was a nice lift.
Yeah, he's also got that inner strength. You can tell from him the way he was fighting his way through that. There's a good deal of determination there. 150.
Right. It's a good point, David. There's not really enough time in the snatch to kind of think about what you're doing midstream. Clean and jerk, there's plenty of time, and some guys get psyched out along the way. Not him. He attacked that weight the whole distance.
And that puts him on to 259, which actually equals his Olympic total. So he's got one lift to go better. Now he was looking for 261. We're now on to Yang, who's another potential contender for bronze.
Big attempt for him, 150 kilos, second attempt. Can't afford any misses here. Nope, if he's going to see that podium.
Now you see, that would have taken him to 265. Would have.
Yeah. And that was just playing too heavy for him on that attempt. Not to say he can't come back now and make it, but he basically was getting pretty buried on that.
Yeah, but this is now turning out to be a very disappointing competition for him.
Absolutely. Long career for him. And maybe we're seeing sort of the twilight of it.
Yeah,
That's been in a lot of contests.
At 150 kilos.
I wonder if he might be pretty beat up from his years of lifting. Maybe that's why the belt and the knee wraps he's wearing.
So Setiade, junior world silver medalist a little while back. You've got to go back 7 years, but that was some promise then.
Nope. Every miss here is really important in this chase for the medals. Two phases of clean and jerk. You've got to clean the weight, you've got to jerk it. You got to do both or you get no credit.
Yeah, and he's now under real pressure because he's only got one more attempt to secure a total. Just having a look at one or two people from the B group earlier in the day, not really posting huge amounts, but Castellanos of Venezuela 247 and Osmonaliev of Kyrgyzstan 246.
And here's Yang coming back, third attempt 150. Just plain looked heavy for him on his second attempt. See, look at the way his knees are wrapped. I wonder if he's fighting injuries. Might just be guts getting him through this. He's bouncing, trying to stand up. You see a couple bounces in the bottom position, trying to get a little mechanical help in the effort to stand up with the bar. He's just playing too heavy. He gave it his all. Maybe he didn't get the results he wanted, but I don't think he left anything on the platform. Setiade, third attempt, 150 kilos.
So big moment. Let's hope he can just pull this round. Now, works the clean now. It's better.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's a gutsy recovery. Now, I think that'll be okay. 3 white lights it is indeed.
That's a thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a save the day because the 150 goes with the 123 from the snatch, gives him 273. Actually puts him up into first place overall.
And first place is where you would like to be when you've got two Chinese lifters who haven't even started yet.
Yeah, just having a look at the other possibilities here.
Sergio Álvarez, preparado.
So El Maui out onto the stage, finds himself with 271 at the moment.
151 kilos, third attempt.
Yeah, this is a 5 kilo increase on the second attempt.
This will be a big lift for him. Makes this pretty strong looking clean. This is what's going to come down to.
Yeah, you sort of sense that it wasn't there, and at 271, of course, now Setiade's ahead of him. So that was a crucial lift because who knows whether the bronze medal might have rested on that. But Setiardi now, having made that third attempt, and you can see Alvarez getting ready now. Now this is interesting because the bar at 152, that's a 5 kilo increase, which is going to take him to 272. So it's 272.
Put him in second in the total, would it?
It would put him second in the total, and he's got one more attempt to go.
Right. And he had a strong opener.
Of course, 152 would put him in the lead in the clean and jerk.
Right.
So this is probably a pretty sensible step here for him.
All business on this attempt.
Again, this is exactly the same weight that he lifted in his Olympic appearance last year, where he finished in 6th place with a total of 272 on that occasion.
Oh, strong clean. Concentrating. Dip and drive. Yeah, big lift. We're getting into the final stages of the battle for these medal positions.
Yeah, it's good because, in fact, that in fact is exactly what he achieved in the Olympic Games. He had a 120 and a 152 for 272, but the difference is now he's got one more attempt.
Right.
And he might just be tempted to... This is where the chess game comes in. Here you can see the lift, deep split, brings the leg forward, but it's well positioned. And he might just keep an eye on what happens here and then decide what that third attempt should be. Meanwhile, it'll be Yamada to come out next. And he's putting himself right on the line here with 153. This is a weight that he has achieved before, Yamada. 3 kilo increase, and this would take him to 262 and would, in fact, by a kilo, do better than he posted as his entry target. So it would be a good performance. It would be better than his Olympic performance.
Hook grip, getting set, sets his back, arms straight.
Needs to get this first phase as economically as possible now.
And strong clean. Get set, dip drive, get himself under the bar.
Good.
Oh, left arm.
Left arm. What a pity. Now,
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, he
knows. He knows. He's really upset. Had the lift. He knew it.
He's one red light away from a new PB.
But you know what? It was a great effort. Good attempt.
Yeah.
He deserves a hand.
That's a real pity because he was so close.
154 kilos. Third attempt, Sergio Alvarez, Cuba.
So Alvarez, Cuba,
출전할 선수는 6번
third attempt.
세르히오 알바레즈 선수 3차 시기.
Look at that disappointment. He knows. He knows. Yeah, death.
Yeah. Some tried to hide it, but he didn't.
No, he knew in his heart. It was really disappointing.
This is crucial. 20 seconds. Time enough.
154 kilos, third attempt.
Well, you could see the mental application there as well as the physical application.
Yeah.
And he's got the 3 white lights.
And his work is done for the day. Good job.
Yeah, really good job. So 154 for Sergio Alvarez. 3 very good attempts there and takes him into the lead in the clean and jerk. 274 his overall total. Setiade on 273. Maui of Tunisia on 271, but of course they're all finished. So the man who's already got a gold medal from the first half of the competition, the snatch division, Wu with 131 kilos to carry forward. 155 on the bar, so 286 and clearly into the lead. Wu representing the People's Liberation Army. And of course a kilo advantage over his teammate. And you can just see how good he feels as a result of that. 286. Alvarez in the silver medal position, Setiade in the overall bronze, but Long yet to start.
중국의 롱칭왕 선수 1차 시기.
So Long coming out for 156 kilos. Remember, he's the lighter man, so this would take him up level with his teammate, but of course his lighter body weight would actually put him into first place. Certainly nothing wrong with that. So China 1, China 2, Long by virtue of that body weight, 55.43 kilos he weighed in at. His teammate Wu exactly on the category limit of 56 kilos. So they lead the competition. Alvarez down into third place. But the Cuban with the two very good second and third attempts there in the bronze medal position overall. So something of a duel now. The two Chinese lifters with 2 lifts apiece left.
160 kilos, please.
검정원 기구 무게 160kg으로 올려주시기 바랍니다.
160 kilos. Second attempt. Wu Jingyao from China.
160kg 출전한 선수. 출전번호 5번 중국의.
So it'll be Wu to come out and take his second attempt. 5 more kilos going on the bar. National Championships last month. This was a weight that he achieved, but Long, his adversary this time, 9 kilos better. So it's all coming down to this, as we thought it might. So this is for 291. Oh no. So stays on 286 and stays in second place, and you suspect that actually his teammate Long, who has always suggested that this was his preferred discipline, the clean and jerk, will let Wu lift out here, have another go at 160. And then, depending on what happens with this man's third attempt.
Just 1 kilo.
Well, that will determine
Second place
what sort of weight Long goes for, because effectively
the two very young Chinese lifters
Long at the moment
reached
in the lead were Wu
this world
to
championship.
fail Wu Jingbao on the third attempt. Long would win the title without even having to take his second and third attempt. So the bar actually going up to 161. So a little bit of tactics coming in now, and Long coming out to take a 6 kilo increase.
There is another change. 161 kilos shifted once again to Wu Jinbiao.
Oh, in fact, just looking at this, a 5 kilo increase, I should say. 5 kilo increase, because of course he took 156. And in fact, the bar going to 161 for Wu, so just using their changes to buy a little time here. And Wu coming out now for 161. So 292, 293 in the national championship. So he's right on that sort of mark where he was a month ago, consolidating at least his position for the silver medal. But this, of course, would also put him into the lead for the clean and jerk. Not to be. Had a go at it. He's left on 286, which means that Long has won the championship at 56 kilos. His teammate has got the gold medal, and actually, theoretically, doesn't need to come out and lift, but I'm pretty sure he will come out. 162 kilos on the bar now. This is 6 kilos short of the clean and jerk world record.
Long Jinghua is a gold medal winner from the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games.
And we're just too heavy on this particular occasion, but he's clearly enjoyed himself and finishes the runner-up to this man. So here is the Olympic champion. So 292, having already won the competition by virtue of achieving a total of 286, and with lighter body weight ahead of Wu. Sergio Alvarez in the overall bronze medal position for Cuba. Only 18 years of age, but not attacking the junior world record as yet. Pretty straightforward, that. Plenty of strength, good speed overhead as well. So 162, and has a total of 292. He's way ahead. And now it's up to him whether he has a lift for fun or whether he wants to go for a junior record. They put 163 on the bar at the moment, but that may not stand for very long. Now, 165 is the junior clean and jerk world record, which ironically is actually held by another Wu, not Wu Jinbiao, but also Wu Wenzhong of China. And it stood a long time, actually, since Osaka 2001. So the bar going to 169 kilos, which is a world record attempt. He's going after Halil Mutlu's world record, which has stood now for some 8 years, since the 24th of April 2001 at the European Championships in Trenčín in the Slovak Republic. And this is a world record attempt. He's trying to take this world record attempt ahead, or away, I should say, from Turkey's Halil Mutlu. So this is a big moment, because remember, this man has weighed in at less than 56 kilos, and
세계 신기록을 수립할 수 있도록
56 kilos, 168 kilos is 3 times body weight, and he would be joining a very select band, including the likes of Halil Mutlu, to ever achieve that. So 169, this is a very big question he's asking of himself. Now, national championships in October this year. He recorded 169 kilos in the clean and jerk, but that doesn't count for a record because that was not an officially authorized competition and was not adjudicated by the International Weightlifting Federation, but this one most certainly is. So this would really be icing on the cake, and it would be something special. November 2009. Is this the day, the 20th of November, when a new world record in the clean and jerk is going to be set in this 56 kilo category? 169 kilos on the bar, more than 3 times than this man's body weight. Gets the clean. Chucked, no. Another day, another time. He's got the title, but Mutlu keeps the record. 292 is the total. Since the 56 kilo championship was established back in 1998. The best winning total that was produced in 1999, 10 years ago, by Halil Mutlu, 302.5 kilos. But 292 represents the 4th best total since this category was established in 1998.
May I remind you, ladies and
Well, Randy's on his way back. He'll be back with us momentarily, and it'll be interesting to get his take on that. Well, Randy, it was a gutsy attempt.
Yeah, certainly a lot in line with that. 3 world records, 1 senior, 2 junior, very prestigious world
Well, there you have the result. You can see Long of China ahead of his teammate there, 292, 286. Sergio Alvarez, well deserved, getting the overall bronze medal. And 1 or 2 members of the B group there, Castellanos, Venezuela, and Osmonaliev of Kazakhstan.